Hi everyone. I am just off to bed, but I just had a thought just now, and I was just thinking to myself the last week or so. It's coming up to about 11:30 now. It's about 20 past. And I'm just thinking I really want to go to bed. There's still some things I need to do assignment wise. I've just shut my laptop and I know I can go in and read my notes and maybe tick a few boxes, but I'm really tired now. And the other week I was really struggling to get out of bed, and but then at the other end I wasn't sleeping either, so I was so exhausted, and then I couldn't sleep. I just wasn't wanting to wind down and things like that. So the other week I had a little bit of a wake up call the other day, and just even being in the presence of somebody who was a little bit more, you can just see that their habits and things like that were a little bit more aligned. And even though you can be conscious, you can be spiritual, you can be all of those things, you can be aware, but at the same time, if you're not doing it, like, and I would do my stretches in the morning and things like that, but then even on my mat, I was like feeling so exhausted. It still felt beautiful, but I felt exhausted. And I just felt like I was just chasing my tail, and then come to like about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I'm thinking, I just feel like I want to have a lie down, and then it's that catch 22 as well later if you want to try and get to sleep. So it's like, yeah, it happens. And though what I was just thinking now was how this few days of just looking after myself a little bit more, trying to be in bed, starting to go to bed at 10 o'clock. And so then by the time you're in bed, it's like 10:30, and that's okay. And now I've sort of pushed the envelope a little bit, done a bit of Christmas shopping and things like that. So, it's just that time of year as well. You make magic happen. But I'm really trying to just honor my body and my spiritual hygiene and my mental health. And that's what I was just thinking on the note of energy. And then I was thinking, was that like a psychic attack, that I felt? Because I was just so lethargic. But then I thought to myself, but even with that, even if that be the case, it's like that classic case. When you're practicing good sleep hygiene, when you're sort of doing the right things energetically for yourself, that shit don't come in, that shit don't fly because you're good. So, it's like when we drop our guard, the same with alcohol, same with, any intake. When we drop our guard, that's when we make ourselves susceptible. Same with illness, the flu, and or, whatever you want to label. But it's that same thing. When we drop our guard, then we make ourselves susceptible. So it's that same thing, whether it be energy or our physical bodies. Point being to look after ourselves, self-care, self-love, and self-nurturing. And it's just 333. Goes a long way for you and everybody else. And even that, the last couple of mornings, I've gone for a walk, and not a big walk, like, I don't know, handful of Ks, a few Ks, but yeah, and it was just lovely. And I heard that with our circadian rhythms and things like that, it's sort of important for us to get up and go outside within the first half an hour of being awake. And even on Sunday, before, most people were up in the house, still wasn't early. I actually got dressed at 6:30, and it would have been a nicer time because by the time I left at sort of 9 something, it was steamy. But it was still, I just thought, I'm going now. If I don't go now, I'm not going to do it. So I just thought, I'm just going for a quick walk. And then I ended up sitting at the park and things like that. I was sort of gone for nearly an hour. So it was so nice. And but even as I was walking down the street, I put my sunnies on automatically because it was glary. And then, and then so I lifted my sunnies. It was just 444. I lifted my sunnies because I was thinking, no, let your eyes register to the actual light and let your brain wake up and turn off the melatonin and turn on the cortisol, but the good balanced kind of cortisol, the right amounts delivered, not shocking our adrenal glands to, like, I can't click with my left hand, but produce and even overextend. Yeah, so adrenal fatigue is real too. And yeah, so it's just only been a few mornings that I've gone for a little walk. And normally I always do my yoga and Qigong nearly every single day. And even if it's just 10 minutes. And I find that really helps. And yeah, I've sort of noticing at, yeah, just some, sort of aches and, little bits and pieces. So I find that really helps. But honestly, walking outside and not even going, that's what I'm saying, not even a big massive walk. I just walked around a nice block and sort of come back, and then just appreciating the gardens and who's got nice green lawns and things like that, and just appreciating little whatever's on people's houses and homes. And, just cruised. And to be honest, I've taken my phone and I'm actually going to leave it at home tomorrow because I've taken it and I haven't listened to it, which is nice, which is good, but then you're holding it. So, without pockets, so you got to hold it and the water. So, yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to share how much, and, a primary thing as well, I was less snappy in my household to my loved ones. I was less impatient and I was less quick to react. Yeah, like I even had to apologize to my partner's son. We've been together 3 years, so I love him and I do have a soft spot for him. But what was it? Oh, I snapped at him over dinner sort of a couple of times, and one was eating cross-legged, sitting on the lounge with the plate on the lounge. And, we're due for a new lounge, but I'm going, come on, can we just stretch it out? I don't want to be seeing oil stains on it as well. And so that was, with love, but the method to the madness and to the nagging, I guess, why I brought it up. And then I was thinking about it today, thinking, oh my God, I sounded like my mother. And yeah, and then later on I gave him the last bite of it, and then he sort of says, oh, it would have been better without tomato, because I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, would have been better without tomato. I'm like, fuck you, mate. I just gave you my last bite. And then so come up to him later on, I just put my arms around him and gave him a cuddle. I said, sorry, I get cranky so quickly sometimes. And then he just reached back and he just gave me a hug back, and I was like, oh. So that's sort of that's sort of something that's sort of special to remember. It wasn't the point that I was making, but just to anyone that's got any young ones around you, they don't even have to be your own children, but if we, get triggered or react or something like that, or impatient, just explain it, even not right there and then in the heat of the moment, but as soon as you cool down a little bit, then just explain to them why. Yeah, because I guess that was one thing, in our 40s and what have you, that we didn't really get the luxury of an explanation. So, and it validates them, and it makes them feel appreciated, and to respect them, to let them know that it's not okay to be spoken to like that, even by your loved ones, especially by your loved ones, really. Yeah, so, and herbal teas. Herbal teas is a really beautiful ritual that I do every morning. I'll start my day with a green tea, and then this is a little bit of lemon balm, mint, rosemary, and some mixed blend herbal teas. So yeah, a little bit of honey. So and peppermint. So anyways, I just wanted to share, yeah, just a little bit of insight and just some little wins, along the way, and how we can balance ourselves out to balance and harmonize our households, ourselves first and foremost, our households and our homes, and our loved ones' lives, as well as our own. And primary our own, because the ripple effect of that, everybody benefits. So it's not selfish. we go to think a lot of the time that, we must suck it up, we must push, we must give, we must, bite our tongue, we must, accept and, whatever. And yeah, sometimes all of those things, but, and compromise, of course, but, um, honoring ourselves. It's like the classic case of your oxygen mask first and then, whomever, of your loved ones, because yeah, you're no good. If you're no good, you're no good. So numero uno first and everybody wins. Have a beautiful evening.